Hello and welcome to today's video, Steps Directing Deficient Student to Distinction. Hello and welcome to today's video, Steps Directing Deficient Student to Distinction. In today's video, we have three sections to consider. In section A we'll look at the secrets and deficiency, and in section B we'll look at the difference between distinction and deficient students, and lastly in section C we'll look at transformation from deficiency to distinction. By the end of this video, you will know how someone can clear the deficiency in education. Thank you. So now let's begin with section A, the secrets in deficiency. What is deficiency? Deficiency is a condition which shows the lack that someone has. Today's video I'm focusing on deficiency in education. So when a student have D, E, F, or when a student gets 40 out of 100, such a student is said to be deficient in that course or subject. Direct and indirect causes of deficiency, I classified them this way. Now the direct causes has to do with the student not reading very well, not attending classes, not paying attention during classes, not participating in the practical and theoretical aspect of the subject. Then the indirect causes, on the other hand, has to do with sickness. For instance, sickness can make a student miss classes. Also pandemics, in a state of emergency, divorce, lack of unity between parents, cause or a genetic defect. These all can cause deficiency for a student. Now, what is distinction on the other hand? Distinction is an exceptionally high grade that many students want to be associated with, but not many end up having distinction. That is unfortunate. Someone has to give up many things. Someone has to sacrifice a lot of things which are not sinful, which are good. Someone has to sacrifice them in order to create time for him to study, time for his studies. You have to be willing to give up a lot of things, to lose sleep, so that you will study. Have you heard of the saying, nothing good comes easy? Well, that's true. I believe that where there is a will, there is always a way. So if you are willing to study hard, if you are willing to work with the steps you will see at the end of this video, the steps you will see in this video, you will be able to clear your deficiency. I want to show you the link between deficiency and if a student finishes his high school and he fails his O-level, that student might be depressed. Why? Because his peers will be going to university, getting admission, but he will not be accepted because of his deficiency. Another example is if a student is fortunate enough to be admitted, he will be admitted into the university based on a statement of undertaking, based on an agreement that he will provide his deficiency after 3 years or after his learning before he will be given the statement of results. So such a student, if he fails to clear his deficiency, he will not receive the statement of result, and that can make him depressed. Furthermore, if a person just got converted, because of the salvation he has to do some restitution. Maybe he has cheated. If he has cheated during if he has cheated before he gave his life to Christ, now that he wants to rewrite the exam and do restitution, such a believer may be discouraged if he finds it difficult, if he fails his exams again and again. But there's a message of hope for you. I believe that you are not the first person to be deficient or to have poor grades. God has helped many to clear their deficiencies, and yours also will not be an exception. There's a message of hope for you in Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. Now, how will I know if I am deficient in a subject? It is easy. I can use my script to check myself, check my performance. If I get 40 out of 100, then I know I'm deficient in that subject. Or alternatively, I can check my grades. If in my grades it shows D, E, or F, then I know that I'm deficient in that subject or course. Try to buy past question papers, practice them as if you are in an examination. Don't look at the answers. Don't contact a textbook. Work on the questions. At the end, mark yourself or give someone to mark it for you. From the result, if you get 40 out of 100, you just know that you are deficient in such a subject. Another thing that will help you to know if you are deficient in a subject or course is FEAR. What's that? Fear. Fear, there's a good part of fear and there's a bad side of it. So the bad side of it is that it is a false expression appearing real. Fear makes you to fear. Fear keeps you from learning effectively. Fear keeps you away from those that want to help you in a subject. It keeps you away from the teacher or the tutor of that subject. It makes you not to love the subject. It makes you to have bad attitude toward a subject. And guess what? If you don't have good attitude toward the subject, you will not end up with A in that subject. How long does it take to clear deficiency? Well, it depends on your level in that subject. A person deficient with D is different from a person deficient with F9. The amount of time these two students will put in will differ because the person that is deficient with D has less work to do compared to a person that is deficient with F9. So the time it will take depends on you, your level in that subject, the volume of the subject. For instance, if you are deficient, if you have D in civic, and let's say you have D in physics or chemistry, the time you put to study civic will not be the same time you will put to study chemistry and understand it and then clear that subject, that paper, right? So I want you to understand that the time will differ. Just be patient. I personally love to study to know a course so that I will not just pass, but I will be able to teach it to others. Now, this brings us to section B, the difference between distinction and deficient students. How are you able to differentiate between fake and genuine currency? Well, what I learned is that if you want to differentiate between the two currencies, you have to know the good one. You have to be exposed to the genuine currency, have it, hold it, know it. That way, you can easily spot out a fake currency among the good ones. With that being said, let's look at the lifestyle of the A grade students. The A grade students, they see their studies as God's business. They study night and day in order to be qualified for success, in order to be prepared for examinations ahead of them. They study subjects or topics ahead of the class. They study ahead of the exam, even before the exam date is being known. They don't waste time. They don't play games. They have little or no time for TV. They have mastery over technological devices. They utilize it only for their own benefit. They have faith in God. They pray for God to crown their efforts. They pray for God to help them know the subject, not just to pass it. The A grade students eat well. They sleep right. They avoid unhealthy lifestyle. Learn about the lifestyle of the A grade student. Become productive. Learn how to manage your time. Learn how to work with your goals and how to follow your goals. Mind your business, so to say. Let's also look at the lifestyle of the D grade student. This lifestyle of the D grade student is a depressing lifestyle. It is not a good lifestyle. If you are into it, I want you to come out of it. I want you to help others to come out of it. Now, the D grade student, they don't see their studies as God's business. They postpone their studies when it clashes with church program, money, when it clashes with money matters, business matters, when it clashes with social programs like birthday parties, naming ceremonies, and other parties or programs. They just postponed their studies. The D grade student pray to pass miraculously, forgetting that there is a difference between passing a subject and knowing a subject. The D grade student adopt a snapshot study method, which eventually gives them few information on that topic or on that subject, and eventually in the exam hall they may forget, or their confidence may be crippled, or with such a crippled confidence they may give in to examination malpractice. They are out with others. They are like taxi drivers, so to say, whose destination is usually determined by the will of the passengers. They have wishes, but they don't put in the work. They pick calls while studying. They check their Instagram, social media handles. They post or comment. They watch a little TV while still studying. The D grade student postponed his studying time, and thus the D grade students are liars. Why did I say that? When you say to yourself, I'll start studying tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you say, I'll start studying tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and then you start studying tomorrow, you say, I will start studying tomorrow, you are lying. That's the difference between an A grade student and a D grade student. The A grade student studies even when he does not feel comfortable. The A grade student is not as the D grade student. So you can see the D grade students are those that love comfort to their ruin. Let me explain. If you study on your bed, your brain already knows that your bed is associated with sleeping. So it will go from the dozing mood into the snoring mood, and then maybe to the sleep, your brain, let me say that again. Your brain will go from the dozing mood into the sleeping mood, and then maybe to the dozing snoring mood. So you can see that the lifestyle of the D grade student is a depressing lifestyle, and you want to avoid it. Action does what? They said action speaks louder than voice. Although the A grade student and the D grade student have the same wishes and desire, may have the same goals, but the actions of these two students differs, and that is what makes the difference in their grades. Now, this brings us to the C section of this video: transformation from deficiency to distinction. Let me ask you, why is a soldier able to face terrorists, but a civilian runs away from the terrorist? Another question: why is a believer able to overcome temptation, examination malpractice, falsification of receipts, masturbation and pornography, but a natural person yields to such temptations? Well, the reason is the civilian has not been trained, and he does not have the ammunition that the soldier have. Although the civilian and the soldier are both human beings, they have the same two eyes, one head, and arms, but similar arms, but the civilian have to run away because he has not been trained. The believer, on the other hand, is a Christian, and because he has the nature of Christ in him. I'm not talking of the Christians that just go to church or bear the name John, James. No, I'm talking of someone that have repented and have confessed and forsaken his sins. So such a person, because he has Christ in him, all things are passed away, and behold, all things are now become new. Those who commit exam malpractice, for instance, is not because they don't have eyes or they don't have brain, so to say, but it's because they are not prepared, they are not saved, and so they just give into examination malpractice. Now you need to pay attention in this section, because this is the technical section in this video. The transformation, total transformation that will lead you, the total transformation, the path that will lead you to become a distinction student. There are 3 points in section C, and the first point is transformation for your soul.